Okay. Sorry, I had to get in that big stretch. It's cold today, so it's one of those days where I kind of want to, like, stay in bed, you know? Hi, Pax. Hi, Fluffy. It's weird. I'm not seeing you guys on the multi-chat. Interesting. So I'll just have to make sure I go in between those two. But yeah. How is everyone today? And if for some reason I'm not getting YouTube pulling up, I may have to like pull that up to the side. I've been hearing YouTube streaming's been having difficulties. Hooray! Right as I get into it, right? Let's see real quick. Where is my channel? Nowhere. Where is it? Hello? Hello? Problem is, if I say hello too many times, I get the hello? Hello? Charlie! Like, I get the whole freaking Charlie the Unicorn in my head. I can't say hello too many times because it always, like, flares it up. Okay. Yeah, it seems like multi-chat's not working on my OBS. I'll have to do some maintenance on that. Oh, good. We got the ads already. So for anybody watching on YouTube, I apologize. YouTube is not loading your chat. I am not able to see it, and even OBS is not pulling it up. I even have the website pulled up, and I am being met with a black screen. There we go. There we go. Finally pulled up. All right, Angel and third person. Welcome in, welcome in. Okay, cool. So I'm just gonna have to run these two because multi-chat doesn't like either right now. So that's super fun. But yeah, hi guys. How are we all today? Pax says, doing good. Excited for the new WWE game next week. I feel that, but on the Resident Evil 9, so like I shake your hand on that excitement. Hey guys! Welcome in! Yeah, but hello Angel and third person over on YouTube, and then hello to Flaffy, Pax, and Kaz over on Twitch. Now that I've kind of got this really badly set up, being able to read both chats, but like multi-chat broke. Hooray! I will fix it later. I say, as I still haven't fixed the tomatoes or the love or anything, because I have so much on my plate right now. So, the streams are going to be held together by duct tape. I'm sorry. I'll probably fix everything up whenever the PNG tuber comes in. Till then, I'm working on the pilot. I know I had told you guys last Tuesday that was the day that we were wrapping up. Or no, it was Monday. It was that Monday. We had wrapped up the compositors that were applying. Hey, Chris. Happy Sunday. Good to see you, man. Hope you're feeling well. But yeah, no, I reached out to two of the compositors. I finally got to hear back from one of them today that I was just kind of waiting on, but that's okay because we're all busy and it's the weekend, right? And then the other one, I actually had a call with him yesterday, and we were kind of going over some things. He seems very excited for the project, so I am very, very excited to be working with these two gentlemen. So yeah, hopefully they can help really bring together my vision of like kind of a retro cartoon, but with like the fun backlights. Chris here was actually helping me on some of the compositing terms, and even like helping me pull up some old references of, old animes where they had the really cool neon lights and lighting and everything. And he had found a thing that was like, oh, the term for it was like backlight, of how they like set it up. Really, really cool. Really, really cool. Kind of hoping we can do something like that. But so far, the guys seem really great, and I am excited. So, now on to comic work. I have not drawn all week, so I'm a little scatterbrained in my brain. As you can tell, I'm talking more than actually drawing right now, because my brain's like, I don't want to draw. But that's why I do these streams, right? So that I can keep myself drawing. Let's see. Angel over on YouTube says, I'm doing good. I finally got to relax for a bit after this horrendous week. Yeah, this has been a really rough week for a lot of people. I'm really sorry that this week kind of raked you over the coals a bit, Angel. I'm glad you're able to relax now. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water and just doing some gentle stretches for yourself, and then treat yourself to something fun. Chris says, do these streams to keep myself drawing. Man, that's a mood. Yeah, it it really is, because before I had these streams, Chris, I would be like, oh, I'll work on promo art. Oh, I'll like go over paperwork for the pilot. Oh, I'll go do this stuff. And then I would just stare at the comic, because I didn't have confidence in my comic. And I didn't have the energy to try and, make it work, right? I didn't have that. So I was like, okay, let's ask, the community what they want, if they wanted more streams so that they can interact, have questions, and see that I am working on stuff, or see me put out promo stuff. And of course, everybody was like, streams, so that we get to kind of hang out here, which is cool. But now it's Sunday is always dedicated to me working on the comic. I cannot work on anything else. And then Tuesdays are kind of my whatever else I want to work on. Which has been promo pages, like the promo comic pages. So it's been really good to kind of have a routine, because I'm the type of ADHD person that, like, I have to have a routine to keep me doing things, because I go, oh, okay, it's another chore I have to do. I have to go do this stuff. And it's not saying like, oh, I don't like it, but any kind of art and ongoing story is a chore. Like, animation can be a chore, comics can be a chore, writing can be a chore, because again, when you start making it I have to be consistent because it has deadlines, it kind of becomes a chore. So like, I had to treat it like one, to where it's like, yes, every Sunday, every Tuesday. And of course there's like the days where I'm like, I need a break. But it's been going well. It's been helping me get pages out, but again, I got really no drawing done this week. That's not entirely true. I lined the promo page on Tuesday. And then I finished lining it off stream, and then now I'm starting to color it off stream. We'll still be able to watch me color it on Tuesday. I had to think, like, but Resident Evil, I'm like, Resident Evil doesn't come out before that Tuesday, it's fine. The following Sunday, you guys will not hear from me. I'm sorry. I will be probably playing Resident Evil 9 for like a second, third time. You will not hear from me on Sunday. You will not hear from me on this weekend. Assume I am dead at Raccoon City. Chris is saying, it's really exciting when you first start. Yeah, you got all the inspiration in the world, and then you have to keep it going. Yeah, no, that was definitely the pilot. I remember just being like, yeah, this is great, all of this stuff. And it's like year 6 now, and I'm sitting here just like the Ben Affleck with the cigarette thing. Chris also says, art is hard, fulfilling as as fudge, and I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. But it is hard to maintain. Yeah, it's definitely a what do you call that? My brain's not working for that kind of stuff. But like, it's definitely, you have to train yourself to do it. You have to train yourself to just keep going, and it sucks, especially when you have burnout. Oh, no, 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 no. You can swear. I cannot do it so that the AI gods that are listening to this and streaming it don't just kind of go and, bonk me over the head, right? You can swear. Don't worry about it, man. It's me trying to be good about it. Yeah. Because I haven't signed any contracts that were like, if your chat does this. So, like, I don't have to, like, maintain you guys too bad. Been listening to the Kill la Kill soundtrack while working, and it has a thought vibe. Oh, really? I never got into Kill la Kill. That was when I started getting out of anime. Because I remember it came out around me going into college. But I'll definitely have to give it a listen. Kaz says, even a kid's book is exhausting. Why didn't anyone warn me? Why didn't announce making one? Yeah, that's the other thing, is like when you announce it, being like, I'm doing this thing, and then you go, I shouldn't have said anything. I shouldn't have said anything, such as like the first trailer for Thought that came out that was like, coming out next year. Oh, naive Jax of 2021. Angel over on YouTube says, I appreciate the dedication. I start to procrastinate a lot, so I like when people are next to me as I'm drawing, so it helps me focus. And that's another thing that I kind of like about these is you guys tell me, like, whether you're at work or, you're at home watching, is kind of the, oh yeah, no, I picked up my pencil and I'm just kind of working alongside. I haven't worked on this a bit. Like, that's always, like, nice to hear, because that means, like, other people are inspired to want to, get on board of being creative. And God knows we really need, like, the creative train nowadays. Like, again, it's difficult. Art is difficult. I don't believe art is ever easy, but I believe it just takes, practice and dedication for it. And if you don't have that, then, like, you might have it for something else. Like, oh god, what is it? There's different, like, coloring for art and everything. I hate coloring. I really don't like coloring. I don't have the patience for coloring. I'm trying to teach myself the patience, but ooh, it is so hard. It is so hard. Because I will sit there and I will recolor a page. I do this for everything, is I'll sit there and I'll redraw or whatever, and then I do it like 3 more times. But, like, I don't know, for colorings, I'll, like, put all the colors down and be like, yeah, no, I don't like this at all. And then, yeah, it's, oof. Chris says, sidebar, I'd love to watch you stream a Resi game at some point, Jax. That'd be fun. Yeah, I definitely want to live stream RE9, but I want to play RE9 just kind of by myself. It's just that game I've always played by myself, and I just want to get that feeling of, like, it's just me here. But I always like streaming, like, afterwards. I know on Thanksgiving, when no one, like, not many people, or a lot of people were out on holiday, I had stayed home. My family was all off doing something else, which is totally fine. And I was house sitting, dog sitting, and I just kind of live streamed playing Resident Evil 2, and that was pretty fun. I was bad at it. I realized I am really bad at video games when streaming to other people, and I'm like, God, it is a curse. It was really fun, though. I'd be down to watch a Resi 9 playthrough. Yeah. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm sure there's going to be parts that I'm upset with, and there's going to be parts that I'm like, oh, that was cool, but, like, yeah, I get it. So long as it's not, like, the equivalent of, like, what 6 did, I should be happy. I love drawing OCs that I'm like, you know, by the time I get their design down, I won't be drawing them anymore. Or at least for a long time, and then I'll have to like relearn their design. It's okay. It's okay. My sketches are always rough, and then cleanup is when everything starts to look right. Because I prefer doing line art. And it's kind of the other, it's kind of the same thing with like what I was saying is like I was really bad at playing the game with other people watching. It's kind of the same thing with art. Is I will be drawing the character and then I go, they don't look good. They don't look good. I don't like it. They don't look good. Uh, and then like I'll turn off the stream and I'll keep like picking away at it, and then I get them to look right, and I'm like, damn it! But no one saw. No one saw that I got it done. That's always the annoying part. Um, let's see. Angel over on YouTube says, "Am I the only one who likes coloring my artwork? Most of the people I've met usually hate coloring. I know a ton of people that love to color art. I know a lot of people that rendering and coloring is their favorite part. It is just not for me. Line art is my favorite. I know a ton of people that hate doing line art. Um, so like I do understand the you know the feeling like, oh man, but I really love that. I wish more people liked it like me. So I get that. God, it is freezing. It was like in the 80s last week, and now it's like down in the 50s. What the heck? Fluffy over on Twitch says Kill la Kill is a good 25 episode anime if you can get past their teens and skimpy outfits. Good story and character building, though. Oh, interesting. I think that's probably what kind of put me away from it, was the fact that they were teens. That's always the difficult part, is like I'll be watching something and then it's like, oh no, they're teens. And I'm like, damn it. Kaz over on Twitch says, I like coloring because it's a home stretch and pretty much, and pretty making time, while line art stresses me out. I gotta do color shaping first before line art again. Wow, that's awesome though. Stay warm. I'm trying. I'm trying. Chris. Oh, anime. Yes. Oh, anime. I don't think I do color shaping. I think that's awesome that people could do that. I don't think I can wrap my brain around it. Heck, I couldn't even wrap my brain around doing the color boards for a while. I was like stressing out over the color boards, for God's sake. And then I handed them and they're like, "Oh, this looks nice." And I was like, "Oh, wow." Um if I'm correct, color shaping is where people kind of, they take the like lasso tool and then like, you know, this is his bicep, and they kind of go in there and they do that and they fill that in before they ever have like the inked line work on top of what, like, this is the shape of it. They go and like shape out the colors in here, like, okay, his bicep would be here, so then we fill in the bicep, and then like you can go in there and be like, oh, it's a little too sharp here, if I'm correct of what color shaping is. It's a whole thing. I've seen some of my friends, like old friends, that would do that. Awesome. I didn't have the brain capacity to think like that. I was like, no, I have to draw it. I have to fill out the line. Angel over on YouTube says, when I was working on my webcomic pages, I noticed that I didn't have character sheets for the redesigned characters, and my head legit fell on my desk. OMG. Yeah. Um, that's definitely a tough part. That's why I like having this little reference window up here. But there's been times that you guys have been here where I'm streaming and I'll be drawing a character and be like, "Yeah, oh no, oh no, oh no, where's his character sheet? I didn't export it for the stream," and like I'll have to like run away, to like go find it. Or sometimes I'll be like scrolling on my Discord to be like, "Where's that image?" He is not as buff as his sons. I think all of his sons are buff. Pretty sure all of Alexander's sons are buff. He's buff. He's buff, just not as buff. You can tell I'm tired because my southern draw's coming out. That was really, pushing it. Okay. Kat says, that's where I do the base color first and try sculpting it. It helps make perspective a little easier than just doing a sketch to line art for me. Ah, cool. That's also like the really fun part about art is like everybody has their own method. What they like, what they don't like. Like I've known people that are like, I only paint in food. All right, I don't know how the mold doesn't set. Like you got to be putting something on there, but like neat. They were an interesting artist that I knew in college. I think they went by the name Ryland. Yeah. Very interesting. Very interesting. I hope they're doing well, and I hope their art is selling for millions. I hope they're rich. Pax over here making fun of me with the yeehaw! Okay, you're right on the state. But leave me alone. Very excited to start having the pilot start going into compositing, because then there's only 2 steps left, and the 2 steps are then I will need a sound designer, and then I will need to just edit it all together myself and make ads. I guess that's 3 steps, but but we're getting there. We're getting there. I'm very excited. I am trying to push for this year. I am doing everything I can to push for this year. It's just like how I tell a lot of the artists I work with when they ask me for deadlines, like, hey, what's the deadline on this? I try to have deadlines. I try not to have like the loose, like I have loose deadlines, but like I try not to have like no deadlines, because you lose more artists that way, because they kind of put it off to the side and then something bigger, better comes up and then you have to go rehire again. But I also cannot put on uh strict deadlines, for the fact of I don't pay like a studio does. So like I can't be like, this has to turn around next week kind of thing, you know what I mean? I'm trying to do everything I can to make sure we can get this pilot finally out so that we can move on. I've already kind of explained to them, like, hey, yeah, this is the bit of the urgency is I just want this thing out. I want to get this thing out. But I'd rather it be out and done correctly than just, you know, thrown together and out the window. So I am doing everything. I know it's only February, but I am doing everything. I am pretty sure it will, like, I am like 80% sure it is coming out this year. Again, money is always the factor, and jobs are always the factor. So, like, that's why I'll never say, like, 100% coming out. I can't say that because, again, just kind of the times we live in. But I'm doing everything I can. I have no idea what I'm doing with his hands in here. What is this actual pose? Oh, he's doing that pose. Alright, I was like, I don't remember what the pose is. That's why I need my sketches. He's doing the Flynn Rider kinda making fun of Rapunzel thing. He's not making fun of Rufus here, but that's just what that pose is every time I see it. When Sai does it, he's making fun of Rufus, that's for sure. Hey! Whoa! Cool! Thank you, Chris. You didn't have to subscribe, but that's really awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, I think my stream elements is all sorts of broken. Because it's not updating you on the actual screen. I will have to go deal with my, stream elements, but thank you for subscribing at the tier 1, Chris. That means a lot, man. You've always been so supportive. Yay! Confetti! Everybody clap for Chris. Whee! That's awesome. Thank you, man. We're getting there, guys. I'm a real streamer. I know I've had a few friends reach out and they want to stream with me, video games, or just kind of let's talks and everything. I think that could be fun, especially with some other creators. I know a couple of them are Fishy and Allie, who are writers for Thought. They want to come back on and kind of like hang out and chat. They really liked talking to you guys. They thought it was really super fun. Thanks for the reactions over on YouTube. Yeah, the celebration! Wee! That's really cute. Chris says, yeah, my pleasure. Always happy to help when I'm able. I get it. You don't have to, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. But yeah, no, I've had a lot of people that, want to stream, either like games, etc., etc. Games I can't do as much just because sometimes the games, it's like, okay, cool. We're still playing this game, and I'm like, I got a backlog of work. Man, I gotta get that backlog done. I think that's even the case now, is I have a bit of a backlog of work I gotta get done, and all these video games are coming out. I'm trying to be good. I'm trying. Keyword here is trying. I love Alexander. He wants to be so supportive, but he's such a nervous little thing. And it's just because he's got like the whole nesting thing and doesn't want to see his baby boy getting hurt. No, the ads! Brother taking up the whole panel. No, he's still got space here. Leave Alexander alone. He's still got a whole space here. You leave him alone. Alexander's sweet. Okay, that's the back of Alexander. This is Rufus. It's a problem when I don't add in details on characters and I go, who is this? I'm like the Kazoo kid. Wait a minute. Who are you? I think that would be super fun, actually. Yeah. Love to have, again, different creators, like, take time to, like, talk to them and everything. I point at Chris. You, I want on here at one point, because I love your insight on everything. I mean, I've had you on streams before, but like, I think it would just be fun to have like a. Yeah. No, Chris, the Chris behind you. What do you mean, you? Points to self. Yes, yes, you. Just because I think it'd be fun to have like an insight on like what goes into like art and indie and just kind of don't. What do you mean you're looking around, Chris? Chris, I got a spotlight on you and everything. Um, hold up. Wait a minute. What just happened? Hold up. Hold up. Brother taking up the whole panel. You got the... So you're saying I should bully Sai more instead. Probably, because Sai actually deserves to be bullied. Pax over here. No bully Sai! Chris says, yeah, I could drop in, smile, it'll be fun. Yeah, we'll have to, like, come up with the time for it. I know, one of our friends, FBI agent, I know he wants to stream with me at some point, playing a little bit of games, so I want to do that. I think it'd be fun, but again, I think it'd be fun just kind of reach out and have a couple, like, guest people on here, and of course, I would still have my solo streams, because I know you guys like the one-on-ones, and I never want to take that from you guys. But, like, there's a lot of really cool people in this community. Especially the ones I made friends with. How is it? I've been doom scrolling a little bit. I shouldn't be doom scrolling. I should be off of social media, but I've been doom scrolling a little bit. And, started coming across, like, ads for, like, the things in the 90s that were, like, kids wouldn't understand today. And then, like, it was an ad for my city that was like, oh yeah, you could go try a lot of these cool places. They're super cool and hip for the, you know, for, like, young adults and, like, teens. And I was like, all right, let's see what people are into. It's just, one of them was the roller rink I used to go to here. And I'm squinting at it so hard, like, oh, okay. It was just like, no one ever does this. I was like, yeah, we did. We did. And then you guys all closed around us and told us it wasn't cool anymore. Like, I'm glad that place is still alive, though. Hey, everyone, let's go to Action Park. Yeah! The Flappy's over here like, no! Oh, that was crazy. That was crazy. I loved that doc we got to watch, Chris. Action Park! Angel says, to the cool people on Twitch, you guys are, like, really cool. I'm gonna go back to my corner, which means I gotta go. Bye. Everybody say bye, Angel, on Twitch. Bye, Angel. Angel all there by themselves over on YouTube. That's not true. I'm sure there's a lot of lurkers on YouTube, and I love you guys. You guys are awesome. I just can't see, like, much, because I don't get the numbers for each of them when doing multi-chats. Chris says, bye, Angel. Kaz says, you're cool too, Angel. I hate when songs, like, start out really, 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 really quiet. Because then I'm sitting there, like, straining my ears, like, did the players stop? What's so funny about Alexander's hair is back when I was like starting to learn how to draw like anime, and I'm like talking like picked up all the how to draw manga books and crap. I used to have like characters I would draw hair for that all had like this hair shape. So when I started putting them back in this hair shape, I was like, oh man. I kind of laughed though, and I said, no, I'm gonna keep it because I think it's a cute little nod to those days. In fact, his hair's got like a little bit of resemblance to old roleplay buddies characters' hair. Um, it just had like a it had like one of those ponytails to it kind of thing. That's the only difference. And it's so funny because that character was named Brandon, which is the name I gave Rufus's middle name. Brandon was a nod to the time that like I had like a friend that we role played for like a good 8 years, and helped me like develop writing and such. I love that we're looking into Jack's history. Why can't I type right? It's okay, guys. But yeah, no, I like to do little nods. I think if you look in the Christmas comic, the character that eventually became Psy, um, he's shown in the background falling off the balcony dying. Because I came to the realization like, oh, these characters just became these characters now. Well, guess I kill off their old versions now. Whee! I think I'm funny. I'm not, but I think I am. Jack said, "See you later, little snot." Yeah, he was, because how my original story was, again, it was set in a sci-fi world. It was inspired by Batman the Animated Series and like Batman Beyond and all that shit. And how it was he was the main lead. The character that eventually became Psy, he was the main lead, but he was like, oh, angst, and I'm stoic, and I hate the world, and the world hates me, and like very, very just high school written. And I couldn't get the story to move with him because it would be like, okay, now they need to go on this adventure, and he'd just be like, I don't want to, and I'm like, okay, I need you to freaking move. And even his secondary character, secondary main character, Julian, who became Rufus eventually, he couldn't even get this main character to move. Um, so it was really, really tough to tell any kind of story with them because you had one that was just a little too passive and didn't was like, oh well, I don't want to make you upset kind of thing. And I'm not saying Rufus isn't like that, but Rufus is just kind of a different kind of passive. Um and then you had Weston, who was just like, I don't want to do anything. The world sucks. I just want to be here and play in my band and like all this stuff. And like the story did nothing. The story did absolutely nothing. I couldn't even get them out of the apartment that it started in. Like, it was that bad. They were really Ken from the American Street Fighter cartoon. I never watched it, but that's really funny. But yeah, no, they were a problem. They were very much a problem that I couldn't get to do anything. So I gave up on the story. I said, okay, well, obviously these character types can't work together. Um, they can't. And then it wasn't until like Markiplier's Grand Theft Auto roleplay with Stan the Waterman, I realized, no, wait, they can, but I have to switch the roles. Um, because I love Sai. I do love Sai. Is he a problem? Is he lazy? Is he the one that's like, I don't want to move if I don't want to move? Absolutely. Absolutely. But then you have Rufus, who's like, oh, okay, I won't bug you. And then he starts trying to do it himself. And he'll start trying to fix things. And things start to break worse. And things start to catch on fire. And like, it starts to irritate Sai to the point that he's now getting up to be like, hey, what are you doing? No, no, no. Stop it. And so now he's actually moving. Rufus is giving him that reason to get up and do something, to get up and fix something. And it works like that. It works in the whole, trying to get them to do something. But like with the way Julian was designed and the way that Weston was designed, they couldn't. Yeah. Beta Sai rejecting the call of Avenger. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's really funny. That was really funny, Flappy. No, absolutely. He just, no call of adventure, life sucks, I'm staying here. And I'm like, man, me too, but like, I need you to move. So, and it's amazing. It's amazing that all it took was to kind of switch the characters' placement. Because again, both characters are extremely important to the story. In fact, like all of them are extremely important to the story. It's just a who's leading the adventure, who are we following, and who doesn't understand what the world is. And in the last one, it was a teenager. Um, and I mean by like he was an 18-year-old, but he was an 18-year-old that didn't understand the world, and we were going to follow from him and learn about the world through the eyes of an 18-year-old in that original one. Now it's through the eyes of a 30-year-old who kind of has been a little bit sheltered coming from a utopian planet, who doesn't understand just kind of how the world works. Like, we as the audience, we have a lot more of an understanding than he does, but we still don't even know what's going on in this world. We still don't understand all the nuances of it. So we're still a step ahead of him, but we're still looking back to see if he's still there. And I think that's fun. Couldn't do that with Weston. Couldn't do that with Julian. But with Sai and Rufus, it's a lot easier. And it's just, I don't know, it's always fascinating that I technically got the story to work. It just had to change in parts. Because originally it was supposed to be a lot more of a angsty story, no real laughs, like everything is heavy. I was writing it as an 18-year-old, so what can you say? And that didn't work either. I needed some laughs. And it wasn't until I met Ken's, and Ken's was explaining like comedy to me. Because comedy always came across as like the next Rush Hour movie, the next oh god, what's his name? The guy that was an elf. Whenever he does a movie, or Seth Rogen, or like those where they're so forced to be comedy, they're not funny to me. I know they're funny to a lot of people, but they're not funny to me when they're so forced to be comedy. Will Ferrell, thank you. I was like, God, I cannot remember his name. But like, for me, yes, I understand their comedy and I understand how like parts of them can be funny. It's just like, I don't like it being so forced on comedy. I don't know. It's just like I guess also it's a Will Ferrell playing Will Ferrell, Seth Rogen playing Seth Rogen. You know what I mean? Like, I want the character. I don't want the here's the comedian in the spot of who could have been a character, right? But that's why I'm always like, keep your old art, keep your old stories. Um, because sometimes, like, it may have not worked the first time. You may have had to change something for it. But there's also times to where, like, I have scrapped story ideas. Like, the first story, Chris says, I've often learned that the older you get, the better at storytelling you get because you have more to say. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm not saying you can't say anything when you're a teenager, but like, yeah, no, definitely from like experiences and just kind of, growing up and just, again, experiences, it does help. Um, but like, I kept those stories. Like, I knew they were not good. Um, I still kept them. And the funny part is the original story, like a lot of the beats and everything, I took that and I put that in the last comic I worked on the Ed's World fan comic. A lot of those beats and everything, I took them and we kind of worked it into that story and it worked better for them. It worked so much better. Um, it worked so much better as a Ed's World fan comic than it did when me trying to do that, but I still had those characters that were just there. And the characters didn't get to go there. It's just kind of the plot points and the beats and everything from that story got to go into that comic. But I still had the characters kind of laying there and wasn't doing with anything with them. I was like, oh, that's fine, whatever. They can just kind of sit there. And then once in 2019, when I was opened up to the Grand Theft Auto roleplay with Markiplier, I went, wait a minute. I have characters like this. Um, and I pretty much I went and started using them. I started reframing them, and I was like, I can do something with it. And it was just kind of a nice thing of like, okay, I still want to be sci-fi, but let's what can I change? What needs to change? What needs to be rewired? So it's kind of nice because you'll come back to like your roots. And it's not bad settling down those roots at a very young age because again, they're like seeds. They grow after a while and you start to realize and like so that's why like I get excited when people are like I've had this OC since I was 13. You want to see what they look like when they were 13 or when I was 13 and they show me and like the character looks completely different. We're talking like they look like the DeviantArt Vivzy Pop, like raccoon striped hair thing, like glitter and rainbows and everything. And then they show me the one today, and it's this grumpy old man with bags under his eyes, crow's feet, like all these wrinkles with like a half a cigarette in his mouth, just drooping out the bottom lip. He's got like a couple scars on his neck, and I'm just staring at these two going, what? Like, I love that. I think that's really awesome when people get to do that. To get to see, like, how these characters developed, how they grew. It's really, really inspiring. Flaffy says me deleting the whole, my whole DeviantArt account. And I get that. I did that a lot when I was younger. I deleted a lot of my art. I scrapped a lot of my art because, like, I didn't like calling back to it. Um, but yeah, no, I definitely liked, uh, going back and looking at my stuff. Hi, Kins! Bro, the hoops Twitch makes me jump through every time I try to watch a friend's stream. Well, I do also stream on YouTube if that is easier for you to stream. We are also live on YouTube at the same time. It's just I know everybody's hanging out here on the Twitch stream. Besides Angel, but Angel, I think, has left for a bit. But welcome, Kens! We're just kind of talking about, like, old stories and OCs and, like, how things develop and change. I need to shrink him down. Thank God for digital art. I have, like, tried going back and doing, physical media. And I do the thing everybody does where they try to, like, zoom in and, like, alt delete and control Z and all that. And I can't. Oh, I got a whole ass graveyard of those. Yeah! But it's super fun. It's super fun to go back because sometimes, like, those characters can develop into something else. Because again, that's what happened for me. It's just really, really funny. Also, I summoned you because I was bragging about, like, how my stories used to be, like, super angsty and everything, and then you explained comedy to me, and I was very appreciative of it. I love drawing couches. Pretty sure the couch design will, like, change or whatever, but because this setting is being concepted right now, so I'm just kind of sitting here picking my nose, going, uh-oh. I'm here to bring a little Sam Ravi I charm into the universe. Sam Raimi. Okay, that's what I thought you were meaning, but I was like, maybe there's a Sam Ravi. Oh no, is there a Sam? Yeah, no, there needs to be more Sam Raimi in the world. I agree. As a fan, but like, no, I absolutely agree. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, so question for everybody then. Who Okay, if you everybody here has OCs, I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, so which of your OCs is like your oldest OC or an OC that you can tell is very inspired by another OC of yours, if you have that? Because like I said, I took one of my roleplay buddies OC's names, Brandon, and which was an OC of theirs I was very fond of, and that is the B that goes into Rufus's name, as he is Rufus Brandon Abel. Funny fact though, funny fact, I had done this before I realized his voice actor's name is Brandon. That was an accident. That was totally a freaking accident. So, little bit of trivia there. Chris says, ooh, that's a good question. Flaffy says, Victor changed so much from when I made him in 2021. Oh, is he your oldest one? Neat. So he's about, like, what, 5 years old? That's awesome, though. And I know plenty of people, like, some of their OCs were once their Sonas. And I always think that one's cool, too. Chris says, I think Gerard is my oldest one. Oldest as in age, or no, I'm kidding. Yeah, I can definitely see that. I can see um very much inspiration just from like the things that you've, talked about me and like in the past and everything of like, your inspirations and everything. I can definitely see him being your oldest one. That's really fascinating though. I'll have to pick your brain on that more. Fluffy says Victor was done as just a fan child before his own standalone thing. Okay, so like, was the fan child in 2021, or was it by 2021 he became his own standalone? Kaz says Tyrone for sure. He's been a character I've had since I was like 5. I've always wanted a black wolf as a pet, and his name is Tyrone, and he could talk. Then I grew up and I realized I had free will and could satiate my kids' self wishes. Let's go. That's amazing. I love that. That's really cute to hear. Uh, Chris says, first among him, Cham and Pie. Yeah, because it was a... Oh god, I always forget what you had called it beforehand. But yeah, that's right, that's right. Ken says, the trio are fairly new. I don't think I've made OCs like them before. Probably why they've been sticking with me so strong, to be honest. And you know what? That's not a bad thing either. I think that's really fantastic. That they have such a strong hold on you, because that means I think they're really well thought about, because I've heard you talk about them. They are definitely well thought about. And that means like they're definitely like connected to like some of your feelings on things, and that's really awesome, as opposed to like when we're kids and we're like, I want this OC that has emo hair because I want emo hair. Like, that was me. That was me. All of my OCs, all of my OCs, all of my OCs had the Leon S. Kennedy hair of this. This is all of my OCs. All of my OCs just because I wanted. It wasn't even something cute like Kaz's of like, I wanted a black wolf and he could talk. No, mine was just like, I want emo hair, but my family won't let me. It was so cringe. Chris says, he and Cham were Yogi and Boo Boo kind of deal before I began reworking it into something less sitcom-y. Oh, that's cute. I didn't know that. That's awesome. That's really awesome. Um, Pack says, I had Isaac since I discovered Thought. He used to not be crazy, actually. He was a very, very shy and quiet person until I was like, nah, let's make him annoying and bite people. Very on brand, Pax. Very on brand. Chris says, Pumpkin and Cham, that's what it was. Yeah. Still a cute name, but I do like the woke of monsters. I mean, the will of monsters. Ken says, no, why it freeze? Aw. Where'd it freeze at? Flaffy says, yes, he was only, yes, he was only a fan child at 2021. It was when I got into Thought in 24 and 25 to make him his own character with the story. Neat. Kens is about to lose their mind with Twitch. I'm so sorry, Kens. Like I said, we do have the YouTube one. It booted you out a while back. Boo. That freaking sucks. I hate that everything is just being a pain lately. Like, I know YouTube's been down on chat stuff. I think it's good now, but yeah. Chris, the woke of monsters. Lamau, gonna start my right-wing grift. Get out of here. Get out of here, Chris. Kens, I missed a lot. Aw. I don't know what part you, like, left at. I'm sorry. Let's I need my Resident Evil game. I need my Resident Evil game. Like, it keeps creeping to my brain, like, this week. This week. I even took the day off from work to play this game. I don't have a problem. You have a problem. um... Oh, no. Everybody's typing. Hold on. Kat says, Tyrone showed up in, like, every made-up story I had, even as a Fanak. Middle school was when I started the concept of Galmore, and Tyrone slowly started to become who he is now. I might not have had the emo hair, but it was edgy and puberty written, so yes, Chris is right about aging helping. For sure, for sure. But that's still really cool that they got to, like, grow with you. Pack saying, hold on, ads, I didn't hear what you're saying, reading mine. Oh, oh god, I'm so sorry. Let me try to go back for people and try to, like, reiterate what I was saying. And then Ken's, before your trio comment, you're gonna have to repeat what you said on my comment. The ads interrupted you. Oh no, everything. I missed everybody's. Okay. Let's see. Hold up. Let me restart my brain. One sec. Oh god. Okay, so we had Tyrone's, the Cham and Pie. Okay, so for yours, Ken's, you're saying, like, they were fairly new. You didn't think, I don't think I've made OCs like them before, probably why they've been sticking with me so long, to be honest. So what I was saying on that is, like, that's really fantastic because, with them being, like, so, like, a new trio and everything, you're definitely putting, like, parts of yourself into it, and they're definitely, like, things that you want to talk about in it, and they're, like, it's really cool because, like, having them, like, fresh and new and everything, you get to explore new rules for them, as opposed to, like, if, like, it was older ones, you sometimes get stuck on, like, a little detail that may not be super important, and you're just like, no, but I have to keep it. I have to keep that one detail. And so, like, it's really, really awesome when you get to have this new, fixation, these new OCs that just kind of mean everything to you. And the fact that, like, you put so much thought to them, and I know you put so much thought into them because I've gotten to read some of the things that they get to go through and what they're doing and what they're symbolizing. And, like, it's so exciting to have them kind of flourish so quickly, but, like, they're there and they're strong and they already have deep roots. For OCs that are brand new, I think they're fascinating that way. So very, very, very excited about that. For PAX, I had Isaac since I discovered Thought. He used to not be crazy, actually. He was very, very shy and a quiet person until I was like, nah, let's make him annoying and bite people. And I laughed, Pax, because I was like, yes, Pax, that seems very on brand for you, for him. But, like, it's so fascinating that you have this OC, and he is like, he's so unhinged. And I know you were, like, telling me about, like, the demons on him, and not the demons of him. He's like a demon. He's got, like, sibling and something about his sister being, like, headless and whatnot. Like, that's fascinating. Like, the fact that he was developed for Thought, so he's like a fan OC, and I think that one's a new one too that interests me, is when people are like, I made this OC for your page. I made this OC for your story, and I was like, oh, that's sweet. And it's like, yeah, they do all this stuff, and I go, oh, wow. Like, I've never had anybody to where I'm like, sorry, I'm getting a phone call real quick. I will be right back, guys. I'm getting a phone call. Okay, sorry, it was like the freaking scam artist. Ugh. Hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it. So annoying. Okay, sorry. But yeah, no, it's really awesome that you have your OC that was made for thought, and then you're like developing him from it. Okay, let me try to get back to everybody. You're gonna have to repeat what you said about my comment because the ads interrupted you. For Flaffy, I know you're saying like you had your OC that was a standalone child that was made in 2021, and then developed more for Thought as a standalone character in 2024 and 2025, and I think that's really like that's so interesting. Again, as I was saying to PAX, is like when people like go and develop their characters kind of inspired off of your own story, like that's fascinating in itself. To make him its own standalone, I think he's going to be a great character for you to be able to play and develop into eventually his like own story, and like being able to like have all of the harder hitting topics and everything that I know that you want to talk about. So I think you're going to do great for that. Okay, I think I've caught up. Sorry, I'm I'm trying to help everybody. I'm trying. Um, let's see. Ads. Also, I think the emo hair OCs are blessed jacks. Don't do this to me, Kaz. Ken says, but do you remember their names? Yeah, it's like Gentu, Demuzi, and Nurgle, right? I probably got the pronunciations wrong because I'm terrible. Ken's, I need to hear this someday. Ken says, the standby art is so good. Chris says, yeah, it's super pretty. What the heck? It got to be the Be Right Back page. Jack's taking a call. Oh, I see. I thought it was my internet effing up. You did it, OMG! I know them. It's some of the side characters. I get their names mixed up. Ken's wanted me to remember the three main. I don't want to say protagonist because they're not protagonist, right? But the three mains in the Fossilized story, which is Nurgle, Demuzi, and Gentu. Also, I need to go figure out with like one of my credit card companies because I keep getting scammers for this particular credit card company, and I'm like, are you guys leaking my stuff? You shouldn't be leaking my stuff. Guess 2. Guess 2, that's what it is. I kept saying Gentu. Gentu is the fucking thing from fucking Lilo and Stitch. That's why I keep getting it mixed up. I'm sorry, it's Guess 2. I know. I realized when you wrote it, and I was like, God! I have no idea what's going on. No worries. I'm talking about Ken's characters. Hi, Golden! You were totally fine. Welcome in. We were just kind of talking about OCs, as we always do. Fucking Gentu. No, I'm gonna replace Guess 2 now. We're gonna put Gentu in there with Nurgle and Demus. That'll be your April Fools. Just these tiny little critters in the Gentu. No, I didn't. You have no proof. Pax, you have no proof. Get out of here. I'm being attacked. But yeah, the pretty pixel city art I did get off of Etsy. One day I'll have it recreated with Sirawasa, but I don't have that money. One day, though, that's how you know. That's how you'll know I won that I won the lottery. Is that will get upgraded to Sirawasa. Guess 2 squints so hard at you. I'm sorry! I'm dyslexic! It's in my brain. I have proof. It's not in mine, so you don't. Um, Fluffy says, I'm rattling the bars of this cage, man. My internet is so bad here. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, that's right. You're at work. Ugh. That is... Ugh, God, that sucks. I'm so sorry, Fluffy. I think I know a couple pixel artists to send your way if you're looking for an artist for Sirawasa. Yeah, no, I would love that. It's just, again, I want to, again, still send them my way so I can put them in my pocket. But like, I want to, obviously get like these other things done. And then I can start updating a lot more of my streaming when I can start just focusing mainly more on the streaming when I don't have to worry about animation, right? But I think that would be really cool because I would love to have it just look like Sirawasa and get to have those vibes and those feels. Okay, thanks for coming by, Flaffy. I'm sorry about your internet. I hope you have a wonderful day. I want to feel Alexander's beard. What? Who said that? Nah, he's a sweetheart. I love Alexander. This is the problem though. Is I make it no, because he's turned there, so I guess his hair just flips. He's one of the few that actually has his hair flipped, because I remember being like, I don't care enough for him. Not that I don't care about him, but I was like, nah, his hair can flip. He can bend the rules. But like other characters like Rufus, when he has his hair fluff, look at it, it's beautiful. It can never be on this side. It always has to be on that side. And I know that gets like tough for my artist because they want to make his hair do the cartoon hair flip. But I make asymmetrical hair. I think the only difference is the bangs for him always have to go this way, but the hair poof flips. It does the anime flip, as they say. Why are my pencil not working? Here we go. I need to grab his face, and I need to make it rounder. Whee! Let's see. Okay, is there a reason it's just now a small strand before it poofs? I'm guessing we're talking about Rufus with his slicked back hair. So here's the hell of working with me. My brain changes ideas. It goes, oh, we're gonna do this stuff and it's gonna symbolize this kind of thing and yeah. And for Rufus, Rufus has his hair slicked back only in this chapter. And that was because Rufus is supposed to look a lot like his father, Step. He's supposed to take a lot more looking like Step, while Tim and Dyer look a bit more like Alexander. Tim kind of looks more like the two of them, and that's totally fine. But for Rufus, I wanted Rufus's hair slicked back, because he is working, he's on a utopian planet, and he was supposed to resemble his father, because his father originally had his hair slicked back, and there's still a chance that I may slick it back, maybe not. But like his hair was, his father's hair, Step, was supposed to have the hair slicked back. And so it was supposed to be a trying to follow in your father's footsteps, trying to be your father, so that society would actually look at you, because Rufus is always referred to as Step's son. He's never just, oh, there's Rufus, and if it is Rufus, it's Rufus fucked up again. I didn't say that. I said fudged up. You all heard it. But so it was kind of to have that little bit of symbol. However, by the time I got to drawing Step, I didn't draw his hair slicked back. I drew him with the more poofed out hair like we see normally for Rufus. Because I hate myself, clearly. So I kind of did that to myself, but I do still like having the idea of Rufus having his hair slicked back for this chapter. For the fact of, this is Rufus trying to appeal to everyone. This is Rufus trying to do what society asks of him. And a lot of times in like any art, eyes are the first thing we notice for emotions. And then we have like, mouths and like expression, like we have all that stuff. And I love that in cartoons can also help explain a character too. Hair can start to droop. Hair can frizz up like a cat. I think hair can be very expressive of that. And I think to have his hair to where it's forced to slick back, it's forced to be in this kind of staticky, or not staticky, but like it's supposed to be in the static mode to where it doesn't move, it doesn't adjust, it's there because that's what's expected of him, is to fit this mold. And everybody that knows Rufus stares at this version of Rufus and goes, why is his hair like that? That's not Rufus. Why is his hair like that? Because this is a kind of little bit of show that like, this is what society expects of him, or at least this is what he thinks society expects of him, is to be his father, is to be somebody else. And so again, if you want to look deeper into it, that's what it's going for. If not, it's just he just got home from work. So I think hair is a fun way to express your characters as well. Because when cats get freaked out, their hair fluffs out. And I think that's really, really fun. That's one of the many reasons I like cartoons, is you get to exaggerate things. It's even more fun when you can put it in real life and you get to exaggerate things. I love that too. I think that's really fun when live action gets to do that. But yeah, no, it's in this chapter. For a majority of it, his hair will be slicked back. And then eventually, when he feels like he has his freedom, he will get the hair that everybody knows him to have. I know for a few people this chapter will not be a chapter for them, but I know some people that this chapter is going to give a little bit more insight on Rufus that they're not going to get so much in thought itself for a while. So this chapter I know is not going to pull in many people. They're going to be like, what the hell is this? But again, this is also a spite chapter for when I was told that Rufus's parents beat him. They don't beat him. My God, that was a crazy time. I'll have to deal with that later. Lots of messages. Lots of messages. It happens. Things happen. But also, the whole reason I do like the one strand here, though, is just anime. Anime has ruined me since I was like, um, anime has like ruined me on the like when you have the hair and then you have to have like the one strand because you didn't want to draw the hair slicked back. I do that all the time because I'll draw a character with all their hair slicked back and I'm like, no, I want to strand. Hence why Yuji, hence why Rufus. I try to make sure I don't do it for every character, but you know. Ken says they only beat him in achieving life accomplishments. For sure, but when you get fixated on like I'm not achieving anything, I'm stuck in the same place, everyone else is going ahead of me. I wish I could go faster. I wish I could do better. I wish people would look at me. I want the attention. I don't want to be blamed. And like he's stuck in this unfortunate loop of comparison, and his fathers don't even want him to be stuck in that. They don't even want him to go chasing after trophies, but it's something he really 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 wants, so it's really tough for them to have to deal with that too. But yeah, um and I love it, but yeah, it's just his parents beat him. Like, where did that come from? Where did that come from? Mm, okay, most of Alexander has been drawn, so I guess I can do step now. Doop, doop, doop. Man, I have to go to coloring after this again. I don't want to color. I just imagine Sai making Rufus read brain rot. Oh my gosh. Jokes on Sai trying to make Rufus read brain rot. Rufus doesn't read super well, and Rufus doesn't have the attention span to read. So good luck to Sai. Sai's gonna get more infuriated. What time is it? Okay, so I got about 30 minutes more, and then I gotta hop off for the day. I don't like his head shape. You stay there. Oh my god, everybody is just messaging today. So, what's everyone up to today? I know I'm finishing up the stream. I gotta finish a little bit of cleaning. I got to. Oh boy, sports gambling ad. Yay! I'll have to look into the ads. I was animating, but right now I'm cooking some ahi tuna. Not a fan of tuna. How do you cook it? Like, how do you cook it? Because I'm always like, I want to like tuna, but like I haven't found a recipe yet. Beyond says, I got the Taco Bell ad again, but chicken bacon ranch taco looks good. Can't do Taco Bell. I got like food poisoning 2 times in a row. Like, shame on me, right? I just like that it plagues my ads. Okay, his jawline is a little bit skinnier than Doofus's. I do want to show you guys the coloring I'm starting on the other page. Coloring's hard. I'm getting there, but like right now I've just been laying down colors and trying to blop it, but like very excited for how this is going. And then the other promo page we did, and this one is done. I may have to adjust colors when printing, but very, very excited for it. So I'm excited for this comic. Backgrounds of fire. Thanks. Pretty much the background that had Chester was initially designed by Grace. And then this one, I had some help from Brooke redlining it. but very, very excited for how this is going. It looks amazing. Thank y'all. Kat says, I got called un-American for not liking Taco Bell. I was so devastated. My whole world crumbled. Whatever. They don't even have real meat. It's not even real meat in there. It's whatever. It's like paper shavings. And if being American is like liking paper shavings in your taco. That's so funny. Un-American. That's so weird. People are weird. You know, honestly, I should be like drawing in blue pencil, but then I just can't be bothered because I'll just change it to blue later. And then I don't. I don't even do it. Um, Ken's resisting the urge to actually. Go ahead. Cows, being an American is having plastic cheese in your Dorita tortilla taco. So funny. I gotta figure out what to cook for dinner tonight. Because I usually cook on Sundays. And I didn't plan nothing. I could probably thaw some chicken. Because, what was it? Back in October, uh, the Tom Thumb had like this deal on like like I could get like 5 things of like meat, and they were like, you know, each packet had like 5 or 6 like slices of meat in it for like 10-15. Really hard to argue that. And I just grabbed a lot of those and I loaded up my freezer. And then they were like, oh, that's only for October deal. So like, man, I went there like every Friday and just loaded up. And they would just stare at me and I'm like, you guys have this deal, don't look at me like I'm a weirdo. Can't remember, but it has I think I made his chin a little too long. It's okay. The magic of the eraser. I can fix it. And I'll take Alexander here and I'll shrink him down. Actually, no, I should shrink Step down. He's actually more massive. Oop, not like that. Not like that at all. Sorry, I was just reading an NPR article about Taco Bell meat. No worries. What'd it say? Clear this out. And then I'll fix Alexander later. Because I needed to know, Ken said. Yeah, no worries. What'd it say? And like I always say, cheat in comics and just copy paste. Copy paste. Don't make Rufus fly off the screen as you're doing it, though. God damn it, Rufus, stop flying. Also, Rufus, unlock your knees. You're going to pass out. You're gonna pass out, Rufus. I've done that though when I'm stressed and I'm crossing my arms and I'm like trying to like keep my composure. I lock my knees. It's a problem. 80% real beef and the rest is filler, seasoning, water, oats. But this is pretty standard for most fast food places. True. It just tastes like paper. But yeah, no, that makes sense. No, let him fly, please. It's just unimpressive fast food meat. Yeah. And then really unimpressive shoes because, like, I don't care right now about shoes. They're gonna be covered. I don't remember what his foot looks like. Ah. How to make him look like he's looking at it. Choo. 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 Okay. Here. Bring this brown down. Let me bring this brown down. And then we take his laser vision away. Whee! Pew! Sometimes when I'm lazy and I don't want to figure out pupils. Rufus has laser vision! Rufus is secretly Superman. You guys are killing me. Ken's is no longer Ken's, they are Ken. With your OC Gantu. So he can fly! Stop, he can't fly. So funny. So I was like studying crossing of arms and being muscular and everything. This looks so good. I will never be able to replicate this again. I will never be able to replicate it. He will look like weird, I don't know, muscle. That's okay. It's a comic. People look at panels for like a split second and then move on. I learned this from the last comic. I waggle my finger. He's so handsome. He's a handsome boy. I think my favorite was like the I can't remember their name offhand, but they were on the Discord and they like post up art of Rufus taking his shirt off and like the server went insane. So that was funny. Chest puffed out too. Look at that confidence. Chest is puffed out, but it's also his arms are so tightly pressed against each other that it's a fear response. I know for me, like I tighten my arm grip like when I cross them like really really bad when I am just not feeling it, and I get like it's so tight and just like I try to like tighten it and I don't know if I'm like trying to constrict myself or what, but yeah. As Rufus swats nervously, yeah. Put a depressed, half-drunk, middle-aged man in a dress shirt, only to wake him up, roll up his sleeves so his titties bulge in anger. What are you talking about, Chris? I love that you just chime in with things like that. Ew, he went shirtless? Gross. Where is it? Tell me, please, please, please. It's in like the fan art section. It's really good. I'm honestly, all the fan art is really good. Everyone on there is really skilled. It's awesome. My brain is going through like so much, like thinking about like all of this crud I have to do. I was doing this yesterday when I was trying to Wow, you just saw it in real time. My brain just shut off and went, no, we need to do this thing. I was trying to clean things and I got like wires and everything. I was trying to reorganize them for my downstairs and I got like very overstimulated over it because there's so many wires. I need to do that for my office. This is the problem. He is not facing that way. Should be like that. Should be down the middle. It should be down because he is not thrilled. Back to OBS. There we go. I need to draw Yoko more. I love her so much. Yeah, Yoko is fantastic. I freaking love her. I can't wait for when we actually get to explore her more. Um, it'll be a bit before we get to like show her off. No, that's not true. Things got adjusted for the pilot comic, but not the pilot. Yoko will not be in the pilot, but she'll be in the pilot comic. I wish we could have had her in the pilot. That would have been fun, but the pilot would be a lot more delayed. Yokohama, my beloved. Chris. Yoko stands for You Only Know One. And that is who she is. I really wish I was smart enough to go into robotics. Like, I wish I could, like, build animatronics. That sounds fun. But, like, all the math that goes into it, I'm not smart enough for that. Ignore me being an assistant accountant. Ignore that factor. But I would have loved to make an animatronics. I like watch videos about animatronics and being restored and all that a lot. I think it's fascinating. I've always had a love for them too. I was the kid that would climb up on stage and be like touching them and trying to see how they worked. Comes with coming from engineers as family members, right? Kaz, I envy you, Jax. look, the friggin' Five Nights at Freddy's was written about me. I would have been one of those children put in one of those animatronics, ground up into beef. Not smart enough, Jax. I'm like, you don't lie to I am not. No, like all the science that goes into it, I don't think I have the bandwidth for it. I really wish it's one of those. I'm very jealous of like kids today. One of my family friends, he has, or he had younger children. They're now grown up, but like, it was only like a couple years ago, and they had robot like competitions where the school would build robots and like the robots would like fight each other. And I got to go to one of those and I was I was in awe, but like I had like a little bit of jealousy that we didn't have that when I was a kid, because I know I would have signed up for it. I know I would have signed up for it. I would have jumped on board for it, because that was just always something that was fascinating to me. And it was seeing all these young kids that are doing it off their phones. I was like, wow, that's so cool. But like, I've taken 5 coding classes. I struggle with coding. I struggle with math. I like I understand it. It's the matter of trying to get it to work. Is like, I guess I understand the theory. I don't understand it actually working. So that's why, like, I always sit there and I'm just like, man, that'd be so cool. But you know what? That's how you'll know if I'm a millionaire. Is I will be trying to make Yoko. We're all screwed if I make Yoko, but I'll be trying to make Yoko. Because I think she'd be a really fun animatronic. And I mean animatronic. I don't mean like these weird where they're like, I'm gonna try making her sentient thing. Yeah, no! No, I don't think we should be playing that kind of god, but, you know. That would be fun. Be like the lady who's really bad at making robots. So she just makes them. And they like slap her in the face and all that. That'd be so funny. I don't want to get slapped though. I've been hit by animatronics though, working in a haunted house. That shit hurts. Because if those things are swinging and those things are like metal rods and the foam is a hard foam or doesn't have foam and you get smacked with them, ugh, they hurt. They hurt when they hit you. Make her one of those robots that's easy to tip over. That'd be so funny. That'd be so funny. The most I do is just put a knife on a Roomba and say it's Yoko. And just, or no, even better, not the knife on the Roomba, but the Roomba that like swears every time it hits something, but just have it with Milton's Yoko voice. That would be amazing. Um, Cass says, I want Yoko like how some parks have the most charismatic character stationed somewhere for people to take pictures with or talk to, like Megatron Interactive at Universal. Yeah, either it'd be fun for her to be like a costume, stilted costume piece, like the Megatron and the Optimus Prime and Bumblebee at Universal, or I would want her to be an animatronic that she's blocked off so you can't get near her, but like you have somebody voicing her like behind so she can like interact with people on a whim. But then I just put Milton in there. I think that'd be funny. I'd be like, sorry, Milton, this is what you gotta do now. I wouldn't do that to poor Milton, but that would be funny. Yes, exactly. That'd be amazing. I would try and paint her nails. That would be fun. I know we're always making a joke of like Thoughtland or something, the amusement park. but I'll never live up to the land of action park, the abusement park. I almost choked on my drink. That's my karma. That is my karma. It's a problem when I forget people's outfits. Too many characters. Too many characters I try to keep in my head. For now, he'll just look like he's in a Mr. Rogers sweater. Action Park's ghost knows what you said. Yeah, it tried to like take me out, like it took out everybody else. This waist is too low. His head is too big. Kane would technically be up here. Let's see. Okay, I'm probably gonna call it quits here. I know it's like 4 minutes early before I was gonna end, but I kind of want to start getting the chicken out to thaw to be ready in time for dinner. But like always, guys, I really do appreciate you guys coming out on either Sunday or even Tuesday to come hang out with me. It does keep me on track for drawing. It does kind of keep me on track on like how you guys are doing, and I'm able to update you guys on things. So really appreciate it. Tuesday I will have a stream. The following Sunday I will not, because I will be lost in Raccoon City for a second time. So you will not see me next Sunday, but you will see me this upcoming Tuesday. I really appreciate you guys, and I hope you guys have a wonderful start to your week. I know last week was hard for a lot of people, and I'm really sorry for a lot of the things that are happening, but hopefully this upcoming week treats you kindly, treats you warmly, and we all win the lottery. How about that? That would be great, right? All right, guys. I really do appreciate you. Thank you so much for keeping me company, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye!